Velasco, and thank you for reading.
Manny Pacquiao, I told, I don't think there'll be a problem for Manny.
As it scares very much. But every once in a while, the mind can also be controlled for nothing.
And only here, para sa bayan. And that's the opening bell for Round by Round, presented to you by Eastern Communications. Mabuhay Pilipinas! Welcome world! I'm Boy at Season.
And I am Dennis Principe, and Bill Velasco will join us later on in the show.
Well, mga kaibigan, it is official. An end of an era. Manny Pacquiao has officially, and it seems irrevocably, retired from boxing. He will leap into the largest political ring in the country. At doon po niya naisip pagpatuloy ang pagbibigay ng tulong at inspirasyon sa mga kapwa niyang Pilipino. Bagamat nalulungkot tayo bilang tagapagsubaybay ng boxing, masaya tayo at iiwan niya ito na walang pinsala sa katawan o kaisipan. Manny Pacquiao, the Filipino icon who is the only boxer to win world titles in 8 divisions, officially announced his retirement at the age of 42 on Wednesday in order to focus full-time on politics. The Pac-Man last fought in August when he ended a 2-year layoff in a decision loss to late replacement and WBA welterweight champion Yordenis Ugas in their pay-per-view bout. The announcement brought to an end a legendary 26-year professional career that began in 1995 when a 16-year-old Pacquiao turned pro at 106 pounds. He would eventually take his talents to the United States for the first time in 2011 when, after joining forces with Hall of Fame trainer Freddie Roach, Pacquiao upset Lelo Ledwaba via a 6-round TKO for the IBF junior featherweight title as a rate replacement in Las Vegas. Well, it wouldn't take long for Pacquiao to become an overnight sensation in boxing circles thanks to his explosive style. Despite steadily moving up in weight, Pacquiao remarkably carried the speed and power with him to co-author a number of instant classics in the coming years against Hall of Famers like Eric Morales, Marco Antonio Barrera, and Juan Manuel Marquez. Kahit na si Pacquiao, mga kaibigan, had a burgeoning or a developing pay-per-view brand along the way. It wasn't until he moved up to a higher weight class in 2008 to challenge Oscar de la Hoya at welterweight na kung saan siya ay naging isang household name not only in the Philippines but all over the world and became a global star. Pacquiao scored a major upset against the Golden Boy and forced him into a retirement via a TKO and followed it up with a stoppage wins over Ricky Hatton and Miguel Cotto. Ang boxing career ni Manny Pacquiao, mga kaibigan, ay nagbigay ng napakaraming pagkakataon ng pagdiriwang sa ating mga Pilipino saan man sa mundo. Kahit nga sa mga panahon na wala siya sa ring, sa pag-guest sa mga sikat na TV shows sa Pilipinas at sa Amerika at sa iba pang parte ng mundo, sa kanya nais na mapaligaya ang sambayanan sa larangan ng pagkanta, pag-arte sa pelikula, sa pagtulong sa mga nangangailangan, ay iisa lang ang gusto niya, ang mapasaya ang kanyang mga kababayan. Sa kanyang pagsabak sa larangan ng politika, maraming tagahanga ang sumang-ayon at meron din naman mga di sumasang-ayon. Dahil di naman daw niya kailangan gawin ito upang tumulang sa kapwa. Ngunit tulad na lahat ng tao, mga kaibigan, siya ay may pangarap. At ito ay kanyang karapatan. Sa isang taong nagsikap, nagpunyagi, nagbuwis ng lakas, pagod, isa si Manny Pacquiao sa mga hinahangaan tao, hindi lang natin mga Pilipino, kundi ng mga tao sa lahat ng sulok ng mundo. Isa po siyang 8th Division World Champion. Isa po siyang taong dapat ipinagmamalaki ng bawat Pilipino. Isa po siyang kakaibang Pilipino. Siya po ay isang taong dapat nating ipinagmamalaki at dapat nating ipinagbubunyi. Sa'yo, Manny Pacquiao, wala sa akin. Maraming salamat sa maraming taon na napaligaya mo kami. Sa maraming taon na binagyan mo kami ng inspirasyon. Sa maraming taon na kami ay iyong napaligaya. Kung ano man ang ninanais na inyong puso, ang aking dasal ay sana ay pagtubayan ka ng Diyos at palagi kang nasa mabuting kalagayan. Mabuhay ka, Manny. Sa aking libro, ikaw ang pinakamagaling na boksingerong Pilipino. Okay mga kaibigan, na aming unang pag-uusapan ni Legend Dennis ay ang aming post-discussion tungkol sa laban nila Joshua at Usyk. Alam ko, napag-usapan na rito ng ating mga ibang kasama kahapon. Pero gusto rin naming sumausaw sa usapan na to dahil marami ang nagsasabing unang-una yamadong-yamado daw ito si Anthony Joshua. But for many of you as well, hindi naging sorpresa na siya ay tinalo nitong si Alexander Usyk. Pero Dennis, ano ang masasabi mo dito? Unahin na kita.
Tingin ko naman well-deserved yung victory ni Alexander Usyk, and at least it's something na while I do not believe na yung panalo na yon will make him at par, no, with the rest of the celebrated heavyweight champions. Konti lang naman yan, no? Ano ba, siguro another victory over Joshua, no, will help him gain that parang recognition, ano. Yun nga, at least nakadagdag ng konting drama rito kay Joshua kasi remember yung si Lennox Lewis, ano, one of the greatest heavyweight champions of all time na nakatikim ng mga ilang devastating knockout losses, ano. Tumba siya kay Oliver McCall, tumba siya kay Hasim Rahman. Each time, ano, nakabawi siya, no, bumalik, no. So Anthony Joshua can do a Lennox Lewis dahil parang pareho siya ni Lewis, no? Parehong British, parehong malaking heavyweight, parehong very tactical ang style, parehong magandang appeal, no, sa mga boxing fans, no? So it is something na for me parang napaganda pa, no, kung titignan natin kay Anthony Joshua dahil now he's got a great opportunity para mapansin ng mas maraming boxing fans.
Why is it, Dennis, that sa mga nababasa ko ng mga artikulo, no, tungkol dito kay Anthony Joshua is that as far as the heavyweights are concerned, the current heavyweights are concerned, he is not in the conversation as far as the top 5 is concerned. And surprisingly, ito si Alexander Usyk ay nandun. Bakit nga ba?
Well, chances are, Papa B, baka mga American writers
yan, eh.
binabasa mo, no? Dahil for you to watch a British fighter, no matter how big that fighter is, ano, or how celebrated, kailangan magpuyat, eh, no? If you're in the States or if you're in Asia, no? Yun ang problema. Kaya if you notice, opposites, eh, no? Yung American champion at saka yung British champion, bihirang-bihira na magano sila, eh, no? Magharap talaga, no? And well, probably, no, marami pa rin ang merong duda rito kay Joshua because sinasabi na kulang sa marquee fights. Ang problema, ilan lang ang marquee fights, no? Ang dalawang talaga mabigat, yung Tyson Fury at saka si Deontay Wilder. Ang problema, yung dalawa, merong trilogy na bubuuin.
Yeah.
They've had 2 fights in the past. Pumasok yung pandemic, nagkaroon ng mahabang lull, and now they're about to complete, no, yung kanilang trilogy. So medyo napasandal si Joshua at nag-aantay na lang kung sino mananalo dun sa trilogy na yun. And well, yun nga, fortunately, no? Fortunately for him, natalo siya kay Usyk. Now, he's got a story para i-share, no, sa mga tao na watch me recover from this defeat.
Kumbaga yung mga ano na Dennis, yung mga storyline na gano'n, yung mas nagiging mas interesante sa mga
Kasi
manonood. As well
imagine
as
mo
for
kung
the fighters themselves, right?
imagine mo kung nanalo siya kay Usyk. Oh, what's next for him? Antay ka rito.
Oh, teka.
Fury tsaka Wilder. Ngayon, no, tinalo siya. Balikan mo muna yan. Habang inaantay mo yung mananalo rito, asikusuhin mo muna si Usyk.
Kumbaga, meron namang guaranteed rematch clause, no? But how soon will it be, more or less, for Joshua to decide if he really wants to face Usyk? Will it be 3 months from now? Will it be an immediate rematch for the both of them?
It's going to be an immediate rematch, but how soon, mukhang matatagalan. Lalo na kung maging masama yung tama niya, sinasabi.
Right.
No, yung sa kanyang mata, merong
Kasi
injury.
nga, may suspected na broken eye socket itong si Anthony Joshua.
Oo, so depende yan. Masakit yan sa mata. Usually matagal yan. No? But definitely, no, yung Usyk ang talagang most likely next fight ni Anthony Joshua because it is an unfinished business for him and it is something that will help him regain kung anumang glitter meron siya, no, at whatever chips on the table na meron siya, nabawasan yun no, in negotiating for a potential fight with either Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Na para bumalik yung dating chips niya, kailangan talunin niya to si Usyk.
Well, ito si Usyk naman, no? I mean, imagine, no, becoming only the third man to become world champion in both the cruiserweight and heavyweight divisions. And nabanggit nga natin dati in one of our private conversations na ang moving to the cruiserweight to the heavyweight division, it's no mean feat, no? It's no easy feat, rather. It's no easy feat. At for Usyk, who was an underdog in this fight, coming into this fight, pulled off a really big surprise as far as the boxing world is concerned. What were the factors that really made Usyk win this fight? Personally, Dennis, no, before we go to your opinions on this, I thought that Anthony Joshua was a bit too slow. Parang tentative ang galaw nitong si Anthony Joshua. O talaga lang ba na talagang puspos lang talaga ang paglaban nitong si Alexander Usyk?
Well, yun nga, pwede ring mabagal-bagal din because yung kanyang timing probably it affected yung yung pagkakaroon ng mahabang lull. And who knows, no, baka yung pag-iensayo niya rin baka naka-apekto rin yung mga yung mga protocols ngayon, no. We can only surmise kung ano yung mga pwede nangyari. But I agree with you, medyo masama nga yung timing ni Anthony Joshua. Supposedly by this time medyo sharp na siya because he was able to recover from that Andy Ruiz defeat yeah. Tapos yung tinalo niya, Kubrat Pulev, is one of the top heavyweight contenders so nakakagulat nga but nangyari na yan. So maganda nito. Yun nga, Lennox Lewis, he was able to recover from that Andy Ruiz knockout defeat. Now, ito naman, si Alexander Usyk ang pwede niyang bawian para makagawa siya ng mala Lennox Lewis na track na kanyang dadaanan.
Okay, final question before we move on to topic number 2. What if lang? Sabihin ni Alexander Usyk, Mama, tsaka na, hindi muna ikaw lalabanan ko. May lalabanan muna ako isa bago ikaw ulit. Paano yun pag ganun?
Well, alam mo, depende yan. But chances are, mukhang malabo dahil nasa contract nila na merong rematch clause si Anthony Joshua. And most likely, he will try to exercise that. Because right now, I think yung best fight for Anthony Joshua is a rematch with Usyk kasi kung kukuha pa siya ng isang tune-up fight before si Usyk, that's about 6-7 months of a while active siya, pero yung real fight na gusto niya, Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, matetega.
Kumbaga, may marketability factor din yung essence ng laban, di ba? Yung worldwide appeal. Will it appeal to the worldwide audience, di ba? Not just to the purest boxing fans, but to the worldwide audience. Ika nga.
I agree.
Okay, mga kaibigan, punta naman tayo sa ating susunod na paksa ngayong araw nito ng Huwebes, kung saan ang pag-uusapan naman namin ay ang nalalapit na ring laban at naging kontrobersyal na rin itong laban nito. Dahil sa mga nangyayari sa mga nakaraang araw at nakaraang linggo sa palitan ng mga sinasabi, sa nangyari ng press con, itong laban nila Canelo Alvarez at Caleb Plant for the Unified Super Middleweight Championship. Ito natakal na rin ito na ating mga kasama nung nakarang araw. Pero unahin na natin, Dennis, itong unification fight na ito ay basically, tama ba ako, no? Ang may hawak ng sinturon ng pinaglalabanan, technically, yung pinaglalabanan, IBF belt lang ba? Talaga? In reality?
Well, ang alam ko magdedepensa rito si Canelo, because he holds the 3 other
belts, right?
Crowns or belts, yung WBC, WBA, and WBO, it has happened countless times before na weeks before the fight, biglang papasok yung mga ibang divisions, para sumakay sa bandwagon and makaabot sa gravy train. Kasi sayang yung sayang yung sanction fees dito, So I think it's a great opportunity for all organizations na isang champion na lang yung kikilalanin nila. Because if you look at the lineup, yung mga contenders ng super middleweight division, wala kang makikitang marketable, except si Danny Jacobs, the Miracle Man, na rated sa IBF, And kung meron mang aakyat sa middleweight, alam mo, duda ako na Gennady Golovkin would move up to fight Canelo sa 168. Most likely sa 160 pa rin yan, or probably a catchweight. And the rest of the fighters, masyadong hilaw. For me, parang wrong timing na ngayon yung nangyayari kay Canelo Alvarez because wala kang makikitang marquee matchup for him.
Right.
Gennady Golovkin is the only fighter, big fight available for
the more marketable
Canelo.
Name out there.
Yes.
Diba?
Because if you look at the light heavyweight division, mga Europeans, wala kang makitang talagang may malaking pera na pagkukunan si Canelo Alvarez. So, I think after this, malamang i-push nila yung Gennady Golovkin who will be taking on ang alam ko, a tune-up somewhere in Japan.
Alam mo, itong dalawang to figured in a very colorful, if I might use the word, colorful press conference na malamang nakita na ng mga boxing purists na mga fans ng round by round. At nagresulta ng isang sugat bagya dito sa kanang pisngi nitong si Caleb Plant. Well, marami nagsasabi na kasama sa script yan. Pero ikaw, partner, script nga ba?
Kasi kung titignan mo, may sugat si Plant, sa
may
right
sing-sing
eye.
daw kasi na tumama eh.
May sing-sing.
Tsaka may shades. Baka gumanon yung shades eh.
Oo. Pero, ano pa yun, parang masyado pong mabait yan, Kung i-search niyo yung mga press con ni Mike Tyson, di ba? Lalo ni Lennox Lewis.
Dako yung Lennox Lewis, yun yung mabigat. Di ba? Di ba riot biglang nag-riot?
Wala. Pag napanood niyo yun, baka maging bumalik kayo rito sa tingin niyo kay Plant at saka kay Canelo Alvarez, magmumukha mga sakristan yung dalawa na yun.
Pero ito, let me now put on the table, Dennis, the past fights of these two fighters. Alvarez is still pegged, of course, as the significant favorite. Pero itong si Alvarez, during his recent 168-pound run, notably since December of 2022, mas matitindi mga kinalaban nito si Alvarez comparatively sa mga kinalaban nitong si Caleb Plant na sinasabi ng mga boxing critics did not really fight anybody of note, so to speak. Ano masasabi dito?
Well, for Plant to win a title, you know, malaking ano yan, malaking proof, it's a proof na talagang legit itong mamang ito because he's been champion for about 2 years. Ang pinagkaiba lang niya kay Canelo Alvarez is that mas maraming marquee fights si Canelo Alvarez, True, si Plant, pagdating dun sa kanyang record, kung titingnan mo, walang big name opponents na tinalo, but if you look closer dun sa mga nakalaban niya, magaganda rin yung mga record, and mostly it was done in impressive fashion, so he may be the type of fighter na nag-aantay lang ng opportunity, at ito nga, actually marami nga rin nagsasabi na parang bumababa na rin yung laro ni Saul Canelo Alvarez. So tapos ganito, this will be a test of his character, because kung yung tingin ng ibang tao ganun din si Canelo pagdating dito kay Plant na parang wala to, mahina to, kayang-kaya. Baka may paglagyan siya rito pag nagkataon.
Okay, ito pa isang huling punto ko dito bago natin napunta na ating susunod na segment, In September of 2016, itong si Alvarez ay lumaban sa MGM Grand sa Las Vegas. Dito siya tinalo ng isang Floyd Mayweather Jr. Sa darating na Nobyembre 6 taong ito ay lalaban siya dito kay Caleb Plant. Ito ba ay magsisilbing parang bertud para kay Canelo Alvarez na lalaban din siya sa lugar kung saan tinalo ni Floyd Mayweather Jr.?
Well, yung mga venue naman, while it matters, marketing-wise, hindi rin naman siguro magiging factor yan, dahil unang-una, yung makakalaban nga niya, na si Plant, although American ito, kapareho ni Floyd Mayweather, we don't want to sound parang medyo racist.
Superstitious.
Pero yung kasi puti ito si Plant, Tsaka iba yung pag-market dito kay Floyd Mayweather Jr. Tsaka iba rin naman yung galing, so who knows? If ever siguro si Plant, he can take some tips, dun sa laban ni Mayweather. So it would be interesting to note kung paanong style ang gagawin dito ni Caleb Plant.
Well, mga kaibigan, pagnunuorin at antabayanan natin ang laban na yan na isang plantito. Si Caleb Plant will go up against Canelo Alvarez on November 6 of 2021. And now for our next segment of our program here on Round by Round, here is our colleague, Bill Velasco.
I will never forget what I have done and accomplished in my life that I can't imagine. I just heard the final bell. Tapos na ang boxing.
And so the boxing world is in mourning. Luluksa po ang kamunduhan ng boxing dahil sa pagre-retiro ng isang Manny Pacquiao. I would like to talk about some of my memories and recollections of what Pacquiao has done for the Filipino people and for the sport of boxing. I first met Manny Pacquiao as a poor 17-year-old in tattered clothing somewhere in the Green Hills area, and he was introduced to me by the very kind Polding Correa. Ito po yung inhinyero na naging kaibigan at isa sa mga unang nag-aruga kay Manny Pacquiao nung dumating siya sa Metro Manila. After that, Manny Pacquiao started to become a better boxer, learned how to become a champion, and inevitably ascended to world titles. He demolished supposedly the invincible Lelo Leduaba But it was really in 2005 to 2006 that his name started to ring a very loud bell in the minds and hearts of the Filipino people. Particularly since the economy had crashed at that time and our countrymen, desperate and poor, were looking for a hero. Dumating po si Manny Pacquiao at naging inspirasyon ng milyon-milyon sa mga kababayan natin. With a more personal connection, it was the day after the second fight with Eric Morales, which he won, that we launched Hardball, which ran for 13 years on the ABS-CBN News Channel. And he was part of the backdrop of our show, and he was a constant presence in the sport. Constant and constantly enduring and constantly surpassing himself. And went on a 6.5-year tear, not tasting defeat until that farce against Timothy Bradley. He's not only an 8th Division World Champion, he stopped traffic, he stopped crime, at marami po siyang natulungan libo-libo ng mga kababayan natin na hindi alam ng karamihan. Tuwing umuwi siya sa kanyang tahanan sa General Santos City, nakapila po ang mga kababayan natin sa labas at wala po siyang tinanggihan na tulungan. Naging mapagkawang gawa siya at naisipan niya maging politiko para palawakin pa ang kanyang impluwensya para mas makatulong pa sa nakararami. And inevitably, his career catapulted him to the United States, where at the hands of Freddie Roach, at alam na po natin ang sumunod na nangyari doon, umakyat po siya na umakyat ng timbang until at 147 pounds, he won the 154-pound world title. Manny Pacquiao is not only an 8th Division world champion. If you strip it down, he's the only boxer who has won 4 of the original weight divisions in the sport. But I am very happy for Manny Pacquiao because at this stage in his career, having climbed up so much in weight and having fought so many monsters, he is escaping the sport with his health and faculties intact. If we were to look at where Manny Pacquiao lies in the history of Philippine sport, he is probably one of the 3 greatest Filipino athletes of all time, considering what they have done for their sport, along with Efren Reyes and Paeng Nepomuceno. Each in his own way has revolutionized the sport, has been enduring, and has changed the face of the sport forever. Will there ever be another Manny Pacquiao? I seriously doubt it, at least not in this lifetime. Records were meant to be broken, but this one, I think, will stand for a pretty long time. We thank Manny Pacquiao because he has not only been one of the greatest Filipino athletes of all time, he has surpassed Flash Ilorde not just in terms of boxing success, but in terms of the wide range of people and sheer number of people that he has helped. Who knows what will happen in the next phase of his career, which has had to pull him away from boxing, which he has loved so dearly. But still, we are happy for Manny Pacquiao. We thank him profusely, and we wish him all the best. As a final note, his last fight happened to take place right before we launched this very program. So another personal connection for me. Little did we know that that was the last time we would see Manny Pacquiao fighting in the ring. Thank you, Manny. Thank you, Senator. God bless. Godspeed.
Let's now go to our fearless fighter, brought to you by Eastern Communications. Ang aming napili, mga kaibigan, ay ating kabayan na si Victorio Saludar. Dennis, ito si Vic Saludar ay na-order na, no? He was ordered to by the WBA to defend his minimum weight title against Eric Rosa Pacheco of the Dominican Republic. Medyo bagito pa tong fighter na to. Pero ano ang basong mo dito sa magiging tatahakin ni Vic Saludar, who already has a record of 24 wins, 11 by a KO with 4 losses and no draws?
You know, I like his chances dito kay against Eric Pacheco, si Vic Saludar, because kahit nadadayo siya, kung titignan mo, 4 lang yung laban as a pro ni Eric Pacheco, and I've been trying to know kung ano ba, baka mahaba ang ano nito, ang kanyang amateur record, wala no? Halos hindi siya lumalabas dun sa mga well-known na mga international events like yung Olympics or yung mga regional events even if kung malalim man ang kanyang amateur background, ganun din naman itong bata natin, si Vic Saludar. During his time with the national team, he was considered as one of the best sa kanyang division.
Yes.
And remember, he's a two-time world champion. Tingin ko, medyo nagkamali dito. Medyo sumobra kumpiyansa nung promoter ni Eric Rosa Pacheco para dalhin sa kanila itong laban na to at ilaban agad si Eric Rosa Pacheco against a legitimate world champion in Victorio Saludar.
In spite of the fact that Saludar is 10 years older than Pacheco, would that be a factor if at all?
Of course, it's going to be a factor. Kasi alam mo, iba-iba yung reaction ng mga fighters against each other. Could be na baka pagpasok ni Eric Rosa Pacheco, makikita niya, yung kalaban niya, kuyang-kuya.
Iyan! Parang ano yan? Parang attorney Tolentino lang yan, kuyang-kuya.
Parang magaling na basketball player, first year high school, pero bigla siyang tinapat doon sa fourth year college.
Yan!
Diba? Pamagulat. Although, syempre, same weight yan. Could be. But malaking factor naman kay Pacheco na sa hometown niya gagawin. Tanong, with all the protocols and with the effects of the pandemic, marami kayong tao ang susuporta sa kanya. So, interesting din pag napanood natin to, if ever mapanood natin, makita natin kung meron bang crowd na papasok o papayagan bang crowd sa Dominican Republic because Eric Rosa Pacheco will be needing all the help that he can get. Problema yan pag walang crowd, parang hindi magiging problema yan kay Victorio Saludar.
May dagdag ko lang, Dennis. This will be the fifth fight out of the Philippines for Saludar, who has previously fought in Puerto Rico and has also fought 3 times in Japan. At yan po ating Fearless Fighter, brought to you by Eastern Communications. And that's the final bell for today's episode of Round by Round, presented by Eastern Communications. I'm Boyet Sison.
At ako naman si Dennis Principe, Monday to Friday. Nasa Facebook po tayo, 9 p.m. At syempre sa YouTube, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And syempre, yung ating notification bell for you to get the latest updates sa larangan po ng boxing.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood, mga kaibigan. On the next edition of our program, it'll be my partner, the legendary Dennis Principe, si Casiano, at the man in America, Ryan Songdalia, who will be answering the bell. This has been Round by Round. All boxing, all Filipino, all the time. Ingat po kayo.